Welcome back to The Hook. As promised, we're going to talk a little NBA. The season opener is just days away, and Derrick Rose has been the big storyline, tearing it up in preseason play so far. So, Hoff, are the Bulls the #2 team in the East, in your opinion?
As good as he's looked, I'm still going to have to go with the Indiana Pacers. I believe Paul George is a top 10 player in this league. Roy Hibbert coming off a tremendous all-star season. Their guard plays okay, not great, but they defend well enough where I think if they can get it to their big guys, Danny Granger's coming back, David West. I mean, this front line is stacked with talent, and I think if they'll be able to control Derrick Rose, at least keep him moderate, I think they'll fly past the Bulls.
I'm going to disagree with you on this one. I was thinking the Pacers, it was between the Pacers and the Bulls for me,
yeah.
But I think the Bulls, Derrick Rose, he's, I think, arguably the second best player in the NBA when he's healthy.
Of course.
So if he's healthy and he can play like he was playing before the injury, then I think the Bulls are easily the #2 team.
I just don't know if they have the supporting players. I know they have Joakim Noah. I've never been high on him. I know he's a great defensive player, a lot of heart, but if Derrick Rose is struggling for the field, who do you
don't think a guy like Jimmy Butler can't step up? Or?
Maybe Luol Deng. Those guys I just think are way too inconsistent to rely on them night in and night out.
But even without Derrick Rose, they played the Heat really strong.
They did, and I give them a ton of credit, and that's credit to their coach, Tom Thibodeau. But with Granger coming back, and we saw how well the Indiana Pacers played the Heat too. I mean, they took them to 7, and they had a shot at it. So I think they got better. I like the Pacers.
Watch out for the Nets too.
All right. Well, sticking with the NBA, the ESPN Rankings had Kobe at 25th last week, and you know how we both feel about that. But a couple interesting players in the top 10: Kyrie Irving, Stephen Curry, James Harden coming in at #4. What are your thoughts? Do you have any criticism with this top 10?
I do. I mean, I have an objection for sure. When you look at 6 through 10, I think Kyrie Irving, I think it's debatable whether or not he's in the top 10 right now. He does play for a terrible team in the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
But I think, how do you leave Tony Parker and Tim Duncan both out of the top 10?
I have no idea.
One of them should be in the top 10, and if the other one's not, they should be 11. So,
no, I agree, and probably my biggest objection, Kyrie Irving's only 20 or 21 years old. I mean, that's crazy. This kid will be in the top 10 for most of his career. I don't think we have to talk too much about that now. James Harden coming in at #4. I don't know.
It's a little high.
I think he's a great 2 guard.
But you know what I think did that? What put him up to 4 is the addition of Howard, who, by the way, is #7, I believe, on that list.
Which I completely disagree with.
How are you going to put Howard at 7 and Duncan at 16?
I don't know, but Howard doesn't have the mental game to be in the top 30.
No.
I mean, this guy, talent-wise, is really good, obviously. But we saw in LA what can happen when he doesn't want to be there, and he's
a head case.
He really is. And James Harden, he can get to the basket real well. You mentioned Tony Parker and Tim Duncan. I think Melo's a better scorer. James Harden a better athlete. But a lot of questions in that top 10. Personally, I think Kobe should be somewhere in the top 10, top 15. I don't care about the injury. The guy's coming back and he's going to produce. So that's what I think about that.
Well, looking back to last Sunday, Peyton Manning made his return to Indianapolis, where he was actually defeated by youngster Andrew Luck. So, Hoff, has Luck solidified his spot in the NFL? And is he? He's obviously a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Has he solidified that spot as a top quarterback?
I mean, I think so. Coming out of Stanford, I was really high on him. What impressed me was his IQ. I mean, he was so smart. He was real humble, hard work. That's all he talked about. And he came in his rookie season 11-5, and he has shown no signs of slowing down. The Colts already off to a hot start, leading the division. Peyton Manning comes into his building now in Indianapolis, and he takes care of business, backs up Jim Irsay's comments. This kid is for real. I mean, personally, I put him ahead of guys like Joe Flacco. I mean, I think he's up there with Matty Ice, Matt Ryan. I think he's better than Colin Kaepernick. I think he's up there. What do you think?
I mean, I think he's definitely a top quarterback right now. Yeah. Definitely top 10.
Okay.
We'll see what ESPN thinks, though. No, but he's definitely a top quarterback now. And I don't think it was just after that game. I had my doubts about him in his rookie year, but I mean, he played phenomenal in his rookie year. Took them to the playoffs. So it's tough to say he's not a top quarterback right now. And I think what's impressed me the most, really, is his maturity, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, he doesn't. You look at RG3, and RG3 kind of gets caught up with the media. He plays around with the media a little bit too much, and I think it hurts him.
Yeah.
See, Andrew Luck, he doesn't worry about that. Peyton's coming to Indianapolis. They're going to cheer for Peyton. He doesn't get mad about that. He doesn't let any of that bother him. Just comes out, plays the game the right way. He's got all the intangibles on and off the field, and he's a great leader.
Yeah, and it's funny. I feel like I never hear any quotes from Andrew Luck. I feel like I don't have anything from him, and yet RG3, we got a list of stories from him.
He gets too caught up in the media sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, coming up next on The Hook, we'll be joined by our sports director, Jordan Cannon, talk a little bit about sports. Stay tuned. It's The Hook.